Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is again Teacher Rhea, and this time we're going to discuss on definite integrals of polynomial functions. So one way of solving or finding the definitive integral of a particular function is we are going to make use of the fundamental theorem of calculus. So what is fundamental theorem of calculus? We have let f be a continuous function on a to b, and let f or capital F be an antiderivative of the function that is the f prime of x is equal to f of x. Then definite integral, which is from a to b of f of x dx, is equal to the antiderivative of f of b minus the antiderivative of f of a. Now, how are we going to apply those concepts? So let's have an example. What is the exact value of the antiderivative of x squared dx from 0 to 1? So in this particular equation, 0 here is our lower limit and 1 is our upper limit, or 0 is the value of our a and 1 is the value of our b. So the first step that we're going to do is find the antiderivative of x squared. And the antiderivative of x squared is equal to x cubed over 3. Now, there is already a process. Please watch on my other video on finding the antiderivative of trigonometric, or no, not trigonometric. We have the polynomial function, or it is just add the exponent of by 1 and then divide it with whatever is the exponent. So since 2 plus 1 is 3, so the new exponent of x now is 3. That also becomes the denominator of our expression. So this expression now, x cubed over 3, is what we call as our antiderivative of x squared. Now, going back to the concept of the fundamental theorem of calculus, we are going to evaluate that one. So we have the f of x from 0 to 1. So this is what we call as the verticalization. So that is another way of writing when we are talking about solving fundamental theorem of calculus. So that is an operation. That is equal, or this expression means this is f of 1 minus f of 0. So we have from this, again, kaning vertical line, it's not simply a vertical line, it's an operation that signifies f of 1 minus f of 0. Now, nganong f of 1 minus f of 0? The value of our b from the original expression is 1 and the value of our a is 0. So these numbers now 1 and 0 will be, we are going to substitute it to the antiderivative of x squared, which is x cubed over 3. So this is now equal to, okay, we have, if x is equal to 1, so that is 1 cubed over 3, minus, if x is equal to 0, that would be 0 cubed over 3. And simplifying this further, this is equal to 1 cube is 1, so that is 1/3, minus 0 cube is 0, divide it by 3, that is equal to 0. Which means the antiderivative of, we have x squared dx from 0 to 1 is equal to 1/3. Okay, so that is how are we going to get the definite integral of a particular expression. Now, I have actually in this video, I have prepared 3 examples. So we are done with example number 1. 3 na atay exponential, na atay radical, and a linear equation. So let us now have our second example. What is the exact value of the antiderivative of 3x plus 1 dx from 1 to 3? So again, the first step that we're going to do is integrate the expression. We have the antiderivative of 3x, or the quantity of 3x plus 1 dx, that is equal to 3x squared over 2 plus x. So in this particular video, I assume that you already have an idea on how to integrate polynomial expressions or functions. Now, if you don't have any idea yet, better watch my video first on antiderivative of polynomial functions before watching this one, because the concept of antiderivative is needed here. So this expression now is our f of x. or our capital F of x. So that is, we have the f of x of from 1 to 3. Again, the vertical line is an operation. It's not just simply a vertical line. So that is equal to the f of 3 minus f of 1. Again, we get these values 1 and 3 from the limits of our integration. So this is now equal to, the first is our f of 3, meaning all the variables x here, we are going to substitute it with 3. So the first now is 3 times 3 squared over 2 plus 3. So all the variables x are replaced with 3. Minus, this time, all the variables x are replaced with 1. So this is equal to 3 times 1 squared over 2 plus 1. So all x are, we have substitute, or we substitute it with 1. Next is simplifying or performing the operation. 3 squared, that is equal to 9. That is why this expression now becomes 3 times 9 over 2 plus 3. So we just try to evaluate this one. 3 squared. Then minus 1 squared is 1. So that is now equal to, or 3 times 1 over 2 plus 1. Then perform or multiply the terms or the values in the numerator. 3 times 9, that is equal to 27. So that's 27 over 2 plus 3. Minus 3 times 1 is 3. So that is 3 over 2 plus 1. Next, we need to combine this one. We need to combine the fraction and the whole number. So instead of doing the katong step-by-step process nga LCD, we don't need to do that one. But instead, all we need to do is this one. Multiply the denominator to the whole number. So 2 times 3, that is 6, plus the numerator. So 2 times 3 is 6 plus 27. That would be 33 over 2. Copy the denominator. Minus, we're going to follow the same. 2 times 1, that is 2, plus 3, and that is 5 over 2. Now, the operation that you're going to use, depende. Kung example, the operation here is subtraction, so meaning mag-subtract sad ka. If the operation used is addition, meaning you are going to add. Now, next is combining like terms. That would be, or since our fraction are of the same denominator, so we can just proceed to subtraction immediately. Subtract the numerator, so 33 minus 5, that is 28 over 2. And 28 divided by 2, that gives you 14. That means that the antiderivative of 3x plus 1, or the quantity of 3x plus 1 dx from 1 to 3 is equal to 14. So expected na if we are talking about definite integral, our final answer will always be in a constant form. It could be a whole number, it could be a positive or a negative, a fraction, an integer. So dapat numbers gid siya constant. Okay? Now, let's have the last example about radicals. What is the exact value of the antiderivative of the square root of x dx from 1 to 4? So, we all know that first step that we're going to do is integrate the expression. So, since there are no rules of integrating radicals, we will change the radical or square root of x in exponential form, that is x exponent 1/2. Okay, you should know the concept on that one. And that is equal to x exponent, or the antiderivative of x exponent 1/2 is x exponent 3 over 2 over 3/2. So again, I expect that you have already an idea on how to integrate polynomial functions. And to simplify this further, get the reciprocal of the denominator and then multiply it to the numerator. And since the reciprocal of 3/2 is 2/3, so this is 2/3 of x exponent 3/2. So this is now the integration of the expression. That makes it our f of x. Proceed to the process. So f of x from 1 to 4. So that is equal to f of 4 minus f of 1. Substitute the value of x in the first expression is 4. So that is 2 times 4 exponent 3/2 over 3 minus the value of x now is 1/2. I mean 1, sorry. So that would be 2 times 1 exponent 3 halves over 3. Next is, we are going to simplify, or we will change the expression to radical. So this expression is equal to 2 times the square root of 4 thirds. Now, what or how did we able to come up with 4 exponent 3 halves to square root of 4 thirds? In changing an exponential form with a fractional exponent, the denominator is the index or the root, and the numerator is the exponent of our base. So I have prepared a video regarding this one, so you may watch that video on changing radical to exponential form and vice versa to have a refreshment on this one. And this is equal to or minus, same as with 1 exponent 3 halves, that is 2 square root of 1 cube over 3. Again, in a radical, if the index is 2, we don't need to write, or the root is 2, we don't need to write that one. Understood na siya. Next is, we are going to evaluate a 4 cube, that is square root of, that is 64. So meaning, square root of 4 cube is just equal to square root of 64 minus 1 cube is 1. So that is 2 square root of 1 over 3. So actually, ako siyang step-by-step process so that you will be able to see how did we come up with the answer. Next is square root of 64, that is equal to 8. So that makes it 2 times 8 over 3. By the way, in integration, we try to consider the positive value of radicals lang ha sa square root. Positive values lang ta. So 2 times 8 over 3 minus square root of 1 is 1. So that would be 2 times 1 over 3. And multiplying 2 times 8, that would be 16. Copy the denominator. So 16 over 3 minus 2 times 1. So that would be 2 over 3. And since the resulting fraction again are fraction of the same denominator, so we can just combine it immediately. So just perform the operation in the numerator. So 16 minus 2, that is 14. And then copy the common denominator, which means the antiderivative of square root of x dx from 1 to 4 is equal to 4 thirds. So I hope I make it clear to you, and I hope you learned something from the video. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye. Please don't forget to subscribe on my channel. Learn to love math with Teacher Rhea.